Hi, welcome to our girl group, the Goose. And I'm Annie, the spunky tomboy leader.
I'm pretty sure that's already a band name. I'm Minty.
And like I said, we're Goose, otherwise known as FunUntitled. Big fans of Invader Zim, of that little green dog. And today we're talking about Rupaul's Drag Race All-Star 7, Episode 6.
Okay, so the first mystery that we're solving is who is everyone giving their badges to? Because last time we thought it was pretty obvious. So Roger giving it to Evie was pretty obvious because you'd obviously want to give it to the person with the least amount of stars. There's no point in having anyone get too far ahead of you, especially since this is Roger's first star as well. But Jinx giving it to Jada was a surprise.
I mean, Trinity was second choice. I'm just like, hey, Jada, what's happening off screen? You kissing ass? You giving little xylophones to people? What's happening here?
Doing that weird Tahiti, what do they call it? Shot?
Oh yeah, the spice of life.
So it's like, what? Like, people call this like the social game, and I'm like, is it? But now it's like, oh, it is.
I think it's funny, Vivian wanted to give it to everyone, and Roger didn't want to give it to anyone. So of course you gave it to the person with no stars.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Like, Evie was obvious, but maybe Jada, because I don't really see her winning this. And if you gave it to, like, Monet, I feel like you'd kind of get to her head. I don't really see Vivian winning it, but Jinx finds Vivian to be a threat, so it's like, you know, I can't give it to her. And like I've always been saying, Shay's kind of a big threat. Trinity's definitely a big threat. So, okay, so now basically everyone's got 1 star at this point, except Jinx, who I think has 2 at this point. Yeah, she was the only one with 2 at the now.
Well, Jada has 2 now, right?
Yes, because Jinx gave it to her 1. Yes.
Yeah, because we have to, the J's have to stick together.
The JJs. The JJ Abrams. What's the one who doesn't like Spider-Man? Jacob Johnson.
Oh, John Jameson.
John Jameson.
I thought you were talking about that really famous director who doesn't like Marvel movies.
No, that's JJ Abrams, yeah?
No, he made Star Trek. I mean, let's move on. I think Martin Scorsese does not like MCU.
Josh Whedon?
Joss Whedon made The Avengers. He directed it, and then he had the Whedon cut of Justice League. Another J name if we're looking for alphabets. I feel like I'm playing I Spy with you right now.
Okay, so today's challenge is the MTV Total Request Live, where they split into 2 groups of 4 to make girl group bands.
And the obvious answer of how to make groups was just listen to the song Together Forever and Titanic and see which song you wanted to do. But instead, the Mean Girls, that's what I think they're called. What do you call the pretty people? The Victorias?
The Plastics?
The Plastics
The
decided.
Headers?
Yeah, we're gonna be in one group, everyone else just go in your own group. AKA all the white people and the one leftover African American.
Oh my god, Roger made the Headers again.
Oh, did Roger make it in season 3?
I don't know if she made it, but she was part of it.
Yeah, so yeah, the burgers and the headers, and the Vivian's like, now just wait one moment, I'm British, I have a problem with this.
Yeah, like, that was weird, right? Like, okay, Vivian, but no matter what, it's kind of like, you don't really have a choice. And wouldn't being a team with Jinx be a good thing? So, I don't know, it seemed like unnecessary drama that didn't really lead to anything.
Yeah, the Vivians threw a whole hissy fit, and then they tried to do it, and basically the only thing they switched was they switched Evie and Trinity, and the Vivian's like, okay, whatever, I'm going to stick with this. It's like, hey Vivian, you sassy today, why you sassy?
So, the Headers became M.S.T.R, which is kind of cool that they took out the vowels and made a word with it. And they had Titanic, the breakup song. And then the team that Vivian got on are called The Other Girls, and they get the song Together Forever. I don't necessarily know if they needed, like, characters and a backstory.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I hate the fact that the winners of this challenge, I don't know if we're gonna name drop them now.
Yeah, sure, the Other Girls, basically, right?
Yeah, they basically won as like for being characters, for being funny. And I was like, hey, in a girl group challenge, shouldn't we be judging on dancing or lyrics? Anything but are you funny?
To be fair though, okay, this is the 2000s where we know nothing, right?
We know nothing.
We were barely born. Maybe like backstory was very important during those times. You know how they always say like, oh, every boy band group has like the cool one, the popular one. Like maybe girl groups of this era also had those too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Like they all have their own anime backstories.
Right. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't think it's case necessary, but I also don't know what this time period is.
Like, I think it sucks that I feel like I suck Monet's dick a lot when I really just think she's mid. Because Monet's like, oh, she had a chock full of references to the 2000s. Her dance was on point. Her lyrics was fun. And it's like, no, you're not top 2. It's like, oh damn, I didn't understand the assignment. Apparently I needed to be a robot.
Do you think Mr. did better than the other girls?
I think Roger really shot Mr. in the fucking
Wow.
foot. Like, if this was not All-Stars, Roger would be going home.
Yeah, I mean, she was clearly out of it.
Like, I felt so bad for Roger.
She's also the oldest, so...
I think another thing that shot Mr. in the foot was that they gave the 2 non-dancer props, and it really took me out of the immersion. Like, okay, so Trinity's gonna blow her nose while everyone else is dancing now.
Here's what I don't get. It's called Titanic. Why did none of the lyrics have to do with Titanic?
No, okay, when Monet first sang, I was like, that's not your singing voice. I thought you had to sing your own lyrics, but we just got some other smuck. But then everyone else sang, like, oh, that is Monet's singing voice. Monet can sing.
You know what's weird? Monet does sing and she does her own songs. And she does one with the sponge. Her singing is really bad. I think it's just auto-tune is pretty good in this episode.
Oh, so I heard Roger reference Lucy Liu, and I got really confused.
I am surprised you caught any. I didn't catch any references or any lyrics except the other girl's lyrics.
I know one of them, I think it was Trinity, did mention the necklace.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only line. It's so hard to understand the lyrics sometimes.
I just wish the Titanic was just about the Titanic.
When I was in 6th grade, I did a whole music video about the Titanic.
What?
It was a really weird thing, just to make it sound a little bit more interesting. Me, redacted, but you'll know them as Papaya and Razzie. We did a music video talking about finding shapes on the Titanic. And we had to do this for math class.
Sounds like the most depressing math class ever.
I mean, you know, we learned our shapes that way.
Oh man, that triangle's frozen in the water. Oh, Circle's not letting any of the squares on the boats.
That door is a trapezoid. I don't remember much from it. I just remember Papaya had this spray on glitter and Razzie got a really bad glitter rash, like a really bad reaction.
I don't know why. I thought you were gonna say it had a really bad tan. I was like, holy shit, 6th grade.
So that's why I have, fond memories of the Titanic. I'm sure I'm the only one.
At least those kind of memories. You know what's so funny? My first memories is like the Britney Spears song. You know, like the minute.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what the? Why is this happening in this song?
What song is that from Britney Spears? We'll talk about this and go into the outfits.
I believe it's Oops, I Did It Again.
Okay. So, talked about the group performances. Who do you think was the best one in your opinion? Just based off the performance.
Just based off the performance, I give it to Jada. I don't usually like poop jokes, but I liked her character, I liked her story, and I liked that I understood the lyrics. Because I like the other girls much more than Mr. And it's basically because Trinity and Raja could not dance. That's the problem. Like, even though if you have good dances, if you don't choreography the group, then it's no point in you being a good dancer. That's why the other girls made more sense, in which they were meant to be, I forget what the word is. Like, no, like different people come into one group, like a mismatch, or there's a word for it. There's several words for it too. That's the thing that's pissing me off, and I can't think of one of them.
Welcome back. I want to say I did not know that was Ross Matthew being the host.
Okay, that was like, 'cause I think of Ross Matthew as like the chubby, funny one, right?
Yeah.
And then they say he lost a lot of weight, and I know Joy just made like that joke, but I was like, like you only ever see him sitting down. Then when he's standing, and it's like, and also we don't know that MTV reference, so for all we know, this could have actually been the dude who hosted it. It's like, who the hell is that? And then he wasn't doing like the super high, maybe not his natural voice. He was like doing an impression, I guess.
I love MTV just because I have no memories of it, but it was during my time life.
I mean, I always only knew it as like the music video channel, which I was like, why do songs have music videos? Seems like a waste of money, which I still believe it is.
Hey, back then, YouTube, it didn't exist. I remember watching Disturbia and MTV a lot because my father, not your father, my father, happy Father's Day, daddy, would always watch MTV because I guess he liked the gay shows on it. So, and Disturbia was just playing on it all the time.
Disturbia was very popular in 2008.
Alright, let's move on to the outfits. We talked too much about our childhoods. So, the theme was the night of Dolly Parton.
The night of 1,000 Dolly Partons. Now, I do not like Fringe, but I did fucking love these outfits. Like, I guess Dolly Parton is the only person that I'll accept doing Fringe for.
Alright, top 2 outfits.
If I have to pick a top 2, I would go with Raja and Trinity. Trinity does drag very well. She always has like a bejeweled look, rhinestone to the nines. So that's why I really like Trinity. And the yellow was such a nice bright color. And I don't know much about Dolly Parton outside of Hannah Montana, but like yellow and white are kind of like the two colors I associate her with. So I really like that. I don't know what color she was wearing in Hannah Montana, but that was the first and only time I really see her outside of Drag Race.
You are just like the person who wrote in your yearbook, "Good day, sir." I said "good day, sir," and referenced it to Hannah Montana instead of Gone with the Wind.
Well, cause like when you're like a kid and you're not from the South, you don't listen to country music. But then when you're older, you're just like, okay, I don't listen to country music, but I will listen to Dolly Parton because her songs are so good. And maybe Carrie Underwood.
What do you like better, Jolene or 9 to 5?
I've never really listened to 9 to 5, and I love Jolene.
Got it.
Jolene is such a banger. I don't know why though. It's such a kind of like a depressing song, but so good.
Okay, why do you think Raja's the top 2 material?
I like Raja. Like I said, I associate Dolly Parton with white and yellow. The Raja was like silver and bejeweled, and she also had like really big blonde hair.
Oh, what's that B? What I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, bias. That's what you are.
Oh, we did note. Okay, when it comes to looks, usually our thumbnails are based on the top 2. However, the other caveat is that we try not to repeat, and I almost always pick Raja as one of the queens. Like, I would have totally picked Raja for this thumbnail, but we're like, we just did Raja last time. This would be the 4th Raja in 6 episodes, and there's 8 of them. Not that we really care to do one of each queen, but we really try not to make it all one queen, which honestly would be all Raja, Trinity, and Jinx.
Oh, wait, did anyone miss on the night of 1,000 Dolly Partons? Her name is so hard for me to say.
I did not care for Jada's one. What's hard is that one, she came after Trinity and they look kind of similar, but Jada's one just wasn't as bejeweled. And I don't know, something about it being like, I guess there wasn't enough fringe. I don't know, there's something about Jada's one I didn't care for. She's the only one I didn't really like. What about you? What was your top 2 and your least favorite?
No. We don't play this game with Annie. Annie's just in their head. There's a little hamster who's like working really hard just to memorize the names of these people.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever.
So the top 2 queens are the Vivian and Evie. Do you agree?
I don't agree. I didn't really care for Vivian's one. I don't know, a lot of people say they like Vivian's one, but I did not. I would have replaced Vivian with Jada. Because again, I didn't really care for anyone in M.S.T.R. And Trinity had my least favorite performance.
My problem is, of all the chances Evie could have won, this was not it. And it just seems to me the fact that Raja got an unfair win last week and Evie got an unfair win this week, like they already had like a little production schedule of who's gonna win each week. Like, oh, Evie's the dancer, I think she'll win this one. And it just takes me out of immersion. It feels a little bit fake to have it like now each queen has a well-deserved win each week.
I kind of get what you're saying, but I did think Evie did a very good job, so that's why I can't fully agree with what you're saying.
And, so
Yeah,
opinion is like a butthole, right? Everyone's got one.
And they all stink. But I thought Evie did a good job. I liked the story. I liked the character. I don't know if the lyrics really came off as robot, but I thought that, like the whole like malfunctioning part did very well.
I think there's just too many times that a block queen won the next week.
Do you think that's production?
I think that's production. I think it's just to thin it out to make sure that there's not too many stars in play.
I mean, you could be right, but like I said, a lot of people like Vivian's one.
So they lip sync, and I thought Evie was a better lip syncer.
Okay, the song was Why'd You Come In Looking Like That? Dolly Parton song, very country. This wasn't gonna be in Evie's wheelhouse. Evie is like, she's a good lip syncer. She's the ones with the tricks and the flexibility and the acrobatics, but this song does not require any of those. This song, when you have such an iconic diva as your artist, you really need to channel the artist to win, especially in front of RuPaul. I think like for someone who doesn't know Dolly, they may have picked Evie because Evie, I like the little heel click. Like that was super like cool, but that's not Dolly. Like you did not see Dolly and Evie at all. You saw Dolly and Vivian. That's why Vivian won. And then, okay, you were Vivian Shu. Everyone has 1 star. Oh, okay. I guess at this point, Evie has 2 stars. Jinx has 2 stars. Jada has 2 stars. Who are you giving your block to?
See, the thing is, you'd have to give it to Jinx, right?
I mean, between Jinx and Jada, last time Vivian blocked Monet because Monet was a queen who hasn't been blocked but has a star. In this sense, she could have given it to Jada because Jada has a star but has never been blocked. Who I think Evie's the only one and Raja who have never been blocked at this point.
They don't know the plunger secret.
Oh, I mean, eventually all of them is gonna get blocked and be like, wait a second. Oh, they're just all gonna gaslight one girl after a while.
Real fast, what do you think about the storyline of Jinx versus the Vivian?
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of in Vivian's head.
Well, okay, because Jinx also thinks the same thing. They both think of each other as like two queens who are very theatrical, more of a comedy queen, and they like almost play the same role. So that's why they find each other to be somewhat threatening. But I'm like, I mean, look at like track record, right? I don't know. I think Vivian should have blocked Jada, because as much as like Jinx feels like the forerunner, I don't know. I mean, we are at the halfway point at this point, so maybe you do have to put it to the person that technically had 3 wins but was blocked once, which means that she has been in the top more than anyone else.
Well, next week we know she won't be on the top. Because next week we will be doing a sewing challenge based off RuPaul's iconic looks.
Which, to be fair, there's always been 2 sewing challenges in a season. It's maybe not usually in a shorter one, but this is 12 episodes, so I can see 2 of them being sewing. It's usually like the drag on a dime and a fabric one. Okay, man, I still can't believe Raja only has 1 star. She's been robbed so many times.
And just like how Raja doesn't get the screen time she deserves, I will be cutting you off. I'm going solo. You are never going to ride my coattails again. Good day, good sir.
I'll be meter.
I said good day.